I was interested in tiny houses as far back as about 15 years ago. Had some life circumstances change a couple of years ago, and the opportunity for a tiny house seemed more and more reasonable and practical. Just giving, resilience to not only having a home and having a strong and safe structure, but as well as, things change in life, living it long-term, short-term, whatever comes to pass, but also be able to move it somewhere. And the other thing, the big advantage was just the build and then getting it here and getting it set, although it involves some logistics, some complexity, and some work. It was a lot quicker and more simple than building a typical house on a foundation. In 2020, this area was deeply impacted by wildfire, and we lost a lot of our trees. I've since then planted over 10,000 conifers and continue to manage and help them along. This house really provided me the opportunity to be here, close to the land, connected to it, and allow me the opportunity to get out there and do some of that work to really help nature along. So from my experience of being impacted by fire in 2020, it really helped me pick out materials and design this home in a resilient way. Something that could sustain a potential wildfire and also blend into the landscape well and work with nature rather than against it. So I wanted something that could be here, be resilient, and with the choices and the design of this house really allows for that. Hey, my name's Drew, and I'd love to show you around my tiny home. As you move into the house, I wanted it to feel really spacious. So we walk right into the living room here, and then of course into the kitchen. As we move towards the back of the house, there's an office and a washer and dryer, which is also the storage for some of my clothes. And then all the way in the back is the bathroom. And then moving back out into the house here, we have a stairwell that doubles as storage, moving up into the sleeping loft, which is very basic and simple and is just primarily used for sleeping. Working with the builder JT Collective, Jacob, it was awesome to design this house. We really took a basic floor plan and then we're able to customize it and essentially do a walkthrough before we ever started construction of where windows, where doors would be to allow such things as a couch or a TV, that kind of thing. So one of the things we did is essentially put windows everywhere that the engineer would allow us to. Allows it a lot of natural light, just makes the place really bright, but also cozy. It's a great space to wind down in the evening and place to have dinner. As you can see, with it being a tiny house, don't necessarily have a dining room. I'm just a total slob and I'll either sit on the couch and eat or go outside and eat. Eventually there is room and functionality for some stools to go at the kitchen counter, which can kind of be a bar to eat at, but those just have not been purchased yet. Entertaining guests is pretty easy. There's plenty of places to sit. Actually, one of my favorite places to sit is in this corner. I've had people sit on the stairs, stand at the counter. So I've actually been able to fit quite a few people in here. But being that this is really in a beautiful outdoor setting with most of the time gorgeous weather, we'll just generally be outside. Moving into the couch itself, I wanted some flexibility with the space if I have guests stay overnight. This doubles into a sleeper sofa that fits really nice in this area. And then moving over here, this actually is overhanging on the tongue of the trailer, which is out this way. And these boxes, these cutouts here, go to the exterior, which gave us a really great place to mount some exterior lighting. But then it gave us this option for storage in here. So this just lifts up, can store some larger bulky items in there. Wanted to be really intentional of where we put outlets for things as this air filter. Here in California, we have wildfire season, so having something to filter out some smoke if it happens to be smoky in the area during that time of year. Then with the TV, we were able to pre-run all the wiring and actually beef up the framing in the area where the TV hangs. So we didn't have to have any exposed wiring. Everything kind of tucks away nice, clean, and neat. The kitchen turned out to be much more functional and larger than I had really originally anticipated. So being that this house is 10 feet wide, allowed us just a lot of room for countertops with two big working spaces and plenty of cabinet space. We even had room to put in a dishwasher. So being able to work with the builder and design and talk about functionality and kind of work through the space opened up a lot of opportunities. I really liked the earthy tones of green and the dark colored granite. This is actually a granite called Academy Black, which is a local granite. And we went with a leathered finish on here and of course the natural live edge. Some of the things that were really important to me to have in a kitchen were a place to go with trash. So having a dedicated trash drawer And then a large kitchen sink that you can put some dishes in, just kind of contain a mess if need be. And then having reverse osmosis water. Water's really great here, but it's even better with reverse osmosis. Again, wanted plenty of workspace, a nice backsplash, which is also the same granite, just to kind of carry throughout. Turned out to be a really nice look. And then 4-burner propane stove, sit on 2 500-gallon propane tanks, so a fill on propane will last me several years. And then moving down into under the stove here, actually did a steam oven where it kind of supports or fills the gap of not having a microwave. I found in past spaces I've lived in that with a microwave, I just don't use it. So I built in the potential to have one, but just don't have one currently, and the steam oven works great to fill that gap. And then we have a vent range that vents directly outside, just for all those cooking gases so they can go directly out, as is a smaller space. Before I moved into this house, I previously lived in a condo, and it was a little bit of a smaller, darker space, overall larger footprint, but the kitchen was definitely smaller. So moving into this space with big windows to look out, open up and get a breeze through was a huge, literally breath of fresh air. As far as the storage worked out, we integrated the items we needed. Then the cabinets just kind of fell into place to fill the gaps. Ended up being more than enough room between the storage on to my right here and above the range hood. Really feel like we nailed it with maximizing space and functionality. The house was actually under construction when we made this design change of having the coffee bar. So we were able to build this in, have power for the grinder and a coffee pot, and it worked out really great. I will say one of my design flaws of it's a little bit high. I'm pretty tall, and so it can be a bit of a reach for a shorter person, but it works. Moving down under that is all just additional storage. With pull-out drawers, I can store things like Tupperware, dry goods, and then as we move on down, smaller items that are more seldomly used. Where I am up in the mountains here, I'm a little bit further from a grocery store, and because it takes a while to go back and forth, I was able to go with a little bit bigger refrigerator. I would call this a mid-size. So for one person, it's plenty of space for refrigerated items. Also had a deep freezer that I partnered this up with to keep more food storage on hand. You know, as occasionally get big storms in the wintertime that can keep me here for several days, and I want to make sure I have plenty of food. With sometimes having thousands of dollars worth of food on hand because of this remote location, I use this Jackery 3600 to act as an insurance package for that food. And that's where I'd like to bring in the sponsor of this video, Jackery. You may be in an area that experiences disasters like tornadoes, hurricanes, wildfires, and severe other weather events. This Jackery 3600 can provide electrical supply when you need it most. This home backup system can power fridges, it can run the heat in this house, and keep the lights on as necessary for up to 2 weeks at a time without any additional charging. That provides me the flexibility to leave the house, leave the state, or leave the country for extended periods of time and feel safe that my food and things are kept stable and fresh. This Jackery 3600 watt unit has expansion capability to add even more power as needed. This unit is really handy around the property for various projects where an extension cord can't reach, whether it's running something like a power washer or a table saw, or just charging batteries for other tools. This unit works great and I can take it anywhere. There's 4 ways to charge this unit. Either solar, can be plugged into a wall outlet, car charger, or a gas generator. With Father's Day coming up, I know any dad would love to have a unit such as this to use around the home, the property, or just provide backup battery storage for their important appliances. So head on down into the link in the description and check out Jackery. So as we move out of the kitchen and towards the bathroom, we designed this space to function as a laundry room, a clothing storage room, as well as an office. Part of my job requires me to work hybrid from time to time, so I wanted to ensure that I had a comfortable, functional space to work when that comes up. So there's plenty of outlet storage to run computers, charge devices. This also houses the thermostat for the heated flooring. Also with this space, we wanted to do some future proofing as we built it out. So this desktop is removable and we could just add in a dresser, more storage as the space evolves. So here in the laundry room, have a washer dryer combo unit. It's pretty good size, so I can wash bedding and larger items, things like that. All my clothing storage and dresser, if you will, is just next to it here. So it's a little tight, but fits everything I need. The loft is right above me. As you can see, I'm 6'3", so I have a little bit of headroom. With the clothing storage being here and the loft being of a reduced head height that it is, I found that it's just easier to get ready, get dressed down here. So this is where I keep everything, and it keeps the sleeping space very, very clean, very simple. There's essentially nothing up there. So part of working with JT Collective to build this home on the design and the build out is we're able to do anything we could imagine when it came to cabinetry. So all the cabinetry is custom in this house, built by Jacob and his team. We were able to carry that right into the laundry room, kind of the transition space. So we have custom cabinetry here, and also carried that granite countertop throughout in here as well. With being able to spend so much time and really be intentional about the design, there's almost nothing I would change about this space. It turned out really great, plenty of headroom, plenty of lighting, and provides a lot of functionality to this house that I don't have to go outside for. My early 20s, I started my career as an arborist. I was really interested in trees. The Sierra Nevada here, I think, is the most incredible mountain range in the United States. Just a beautiful, beautiful area. Really love the trees. Pine trees just feel like home to me. So there was a large fire back in 2020, as many other parts of the states experienced. Even though I'd done some work beforehand, it wasn't enough. Lost a lot of timber, lost houses. Everyone was deeply impacted here. So after the fire, I really went to work. A lot of restoration work. So this house allowed me to be on this property a lot sooner at a much lower cost and lower complexity than building a traditional foundation house that's, fully permitted and inspected through the county. Although this house, goes through its own process of inspection and certification and engineering, all of that. Being able to just show up with a tiny house, rolled in a couple days of moving and leveling and hooking up water, it's pretty much good to go. So it really offers a great opportunity, again, to get here a little sooner, get out of the cycle of paying rent, and just be close to the land. So I'm really grateful for it. I feel that we're lucky to be on this landscape, and it's very important to preserve the functionality of it, how nature works around us and work with it. So being here gives me that time to understand what's right. Part of the design and building of this house, there was a lot of material selection as well as think of how we live in a space, kind of create that shell and then start visualizing how things function. And I think with that opportunity, you can better design a space, more efficient, more comfortable, create a feeling. I feel strongly that home is a place to come into and be at peace, rest, rejuvenate, also provide those daily functions of, whether it's cooking or doing laundry, that type of functionality that, just creates space where home is like a refuge. Really grateful to work with a company like JT Collective to, work through all those challenges, have a lot of communication. This was built locally. I was able to basically drop in on the build anytime I wanted, ask questions, add a few things. I think the additional height in the countertop was something that we were able to just walk in and adjust the design on the fly. Of course, all those things comes with additional cost and change orders, but it's just something that takes understanding and communication. And all the things I added, I'm pretty glad I did, because then I'm able to be here without really regret of wishing I would have done something different. Moving into the bathroom, of course, we had to have a sink, the toilet, and the basics. Also carried that Academy Black granite into the bathroom, which I think turned out really well. Again, with storage and being able to tuck things away, I added in this medicine cabinet that also has some really cool backlighting to it, but allows us to store the daily essentials off the countertop, tuck them away, and keep the space clean. Went with a flush toilet as I'm hooked up to septic here, so it works out great for that. Also, in part of the plan and future proofing, I had a GFI outlet added down by the toilet if I ever wanted to switch out to a bidet toilet. Didn't have to run power too far, so it's right there. I have 2 operating windows in here, so able to get a beautiful breeze in through here. It also helps dry this space out. It's a little bit smaller. Moisture has to be mitigated. So do have a vent fan for when the windows are closed. And then, of course, the windows open for when it's nice out, which is so much of the year here. One thing that was a add-on right before we finished up was a heated towel rack. It serves a couple purposes. One is being a smaller space, it really dries the towels out very, very quickly, keeps them fresh longer, and it's also just really nice to grab a warm towel going out of the shower. So, and then moving on to the shower, Went about as big as the space would allow, which ends up being plenty of room. Added a glass shower door in here. And then through the design, we were originally this opening was going to be offset. We were able to make a design change to allow for a broom, mop, and vacuum cleaner storage here. So that's hidden away a little bit of cabinet. That brought this door out to the same profile to allow for a pocket door. So this can be closed off for privacy. So up in the loft is essentially only a bed. It's a California king size mattress that lays directly on the floor. I really left the space dedicated for that, so there's not much storage up there. I keep all my clothes down here for easy access. Part of my hesitation with tiny house living was the potential for a sleeping loft and the fact that there's a reduced head height. I'm pretty tall, I'm a larger person, so I was really curious, having never slept in a tiny house before I slept in this one. I didn't know what it was gonna be like. Turns out it works great. Once you're there, once you're in bed, it's very comfortable. It's a pretty easy transition once you get used to it. Really, if I was to redesign this entire space, I wouldn't have it any other way. Having the space up there, it leaves plenty of room for a California king size mattress and leaves all the space open downstairs. So I know there's a few houses that they put downstairs bedrooms in, but they end up pretty small and they restrict the rest of the space. For the heating and cooling of the house, we utilized in-floor heating for in the wintertime, just a really quiet, feel-good heat, and it's pretty low power draw as well. So the in-floor heating does most of the work in the wintertime. And also with the windows and the additional insulation on the house that we included, it really helps thermoregulate, and it does not take much to heat or cool this house. We did add a mini split as well. So that's another additional source of heat, and also the air conditioning if it gets hot enough for the need. And then there is a air exchanger here, which when turned on can push and pull air, but also retain the heat, the warm air inside or the cool air inside seasonally. So when the windows are all closed up and I need some fresh air in here, if I've got multiple people in here, that just switches out the air pretty quick and pretty quietly and efficiently. So this house is 10 feet wide by 36 feet long. I decided to do full metal exterior, one for the fireproofing that is really necessary up here in the wildland, up in the mountains. That resiliency and structure was very important to me. Second was the low exterior maintenance. I didn't want to be working on this house 10, 15, 20, 40 years from now. There was some complaints of working the metal with the hands. I've worked with some of it myself, and it's definitely tougher, but that really just brings a lot of exterior longevity to this house. Shouldn't have to be replaced in my lifetime. This house overall is very efficient. I've lived here now in all the types of weather we experience, and it's very, very comfortable. So as I was designing this house with Jacob and us working together, we were really trying to think of how to future-proof different items. One consideration we had was to add in a conduit, a piece of conduit that ran from the exterior all the way to the interior, with the purpose of being able to run an Ethernet cable. With the additional insulation and the thicker metal, phone service and internet doesn't work very well in here, so that allows me to bring those utilities right in without having to drill through a wall or the floor to add those in. In addition to the conduit ran for things like an Ethernet cable, the roof is solar ready, so I do have conduit ran. Again, just more for future proofing if I ever wanted to add solar on the roof. It's all set to go and can tie right into the existing utilities. For those that might be considering living in a tiny house and are concerned about how do you live in such a small space, I find this to be very practical. I have everything I need in this space and I haven't begun to fill it, if that makes sense. So, more and more society, I think we're really good at acquiring things. And if you are especially more of a minimalist and your mind and body thrive on clean, basic spaces, that I think it can be quite comfortable. Where I live here, could even potentially include someone else as well. I think there's plenty of room here for that. So tiny house living isn't this extreme, crazy lifestyle that it's sometimes made out to be. There's lots of room. It's pretty comfortable, especially for me. I like to be outside anyway. It is basically a place of refuge in the evenings, place to sleep and reset for the next adventure or activity or whatever it may be. I want to thank you all for taking a tour of my house. And if any of you all are interested in a house similar to this, suggest reaching out to Jacob with JT Collective Tiny Homes. He was great to work with through this whole process and really stands behind his work.